The timbales are a Afro-Cuban or Caribbean instrument really developed out of the small orchestras that would play for dances in Cuba and the Caribbean, and were heavily influenced by, of course, the orchestral timpani, and then became the timbales. So because of that, and because most timpani are arranged from high on the right to low on the left, just like a piano or marimba or another melodic instrument, we actually put the high drum on the dominant side or the right side when we play them. So it's not really like a drum set where it goes from high to low, from left to right. It goes the other way. So if you're setting up the timbales, you want to put the high drum on the player's right. And then I've got a cowbell here, which is fairly traditional to have a cowbell attached to the stand. So in this case, it's a medium-sized bell. And that's how to set them up in terms of the placement of the instruments. And then as far as the overall instrument, you want to set it at a height that allows you to play right on the head without hitting the rim, but making it so that you can play the rim or rim shot if you choose to. So you don't want it too high or too low. I've got these set up so that the rim is a little bit above my wrist. If I just stand next to it, it's a little bit above my wrist level. It's also a little bit below my waist. So you need to figure out exactly the right height for the particular player, but that gives you a general idea of how high to set the timbales. Some timbales come with a feature that allows you to tip them or tilt them. You can use that. Traditionally, most players just put them flat, and you can start there and see if it works for you. If not, you can tip them a little bit towards you. And we play the timbales with timbale sticks. And you know it's a timbale stick because it's fairly thin and it does not have the traditional bead on the end like a drum set stick would have or a snare drum stick would have. So timbale sticks are just very plain sticks, and they come in matched sets. You hold it like this, matched grip, and then you can play on each drum. And you may notice that these are tuned approximately to a fourth. You could have them tuned to a fifth, and that also is reminiscent of the days when these were actually kettle drums or timpani, which often were tuned to a fourth. So you can tune your timbales to a fourth. I recommend tuning your high drum so it's just bright. You want it to be kind of high and bright sounding. And then you play open tones on each drum, and then occasionally you might play a rim shot on the high drum, which sounds like this. And that's a way to get a really bright crack sound, and what you're doing there is hitting the drum head and the rim at the same time. You can also play the timbales on what we call the cascara, or the shell. So that's also commonly done, and then of course you play the bell as well. Okay, so that's a little introduction to the timbales.